Coming up on Verse Course Verse, when he hasn't been busy being the worst parts of humanity, he's written and produced some seriously good tunes. That's next. Welcome to episode 133 of Verse Course Verse. I am DL. With me is Rachel. He has some really good ideas, Polio. Rachel, how are you?
He really does.
Careful.
No, I mean like musically.
We can read between the lines. We all know what you mean.
Oh my God, I'm getting tired.
Wait till we're not editing next year. Oh, man.
Oh, God.
You're fucked.
Yikes.
It just dawned on Evil.
All that horrible shit you take out that I say all the time.
That is Evil, the motherfucking monster Jimmy. Evil, how are you doing today?
I'm fucking great. Life's so good. Love it. Summer.
He said full sarcasm.
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe a little.
You will never know. You out there listening.
No one will ever know. You're a summer guy, though. You love the summer.
Love it. So good.
Get outside.
Where the party people at? I'm in a weird mood. Sorry.
This is going to be fun.
One of the most intriguing things that I've ever encountered in my life is a not centered Evil Jimmy.
Happens.
It is very, very interesting to watch.
I'm so even that when something has to push me to the point to where it just goes fucking off the rails, like for it to be on, it has to be so on the line that it fucking Thunderdome, that's otherwise why it's so stupid,
We're going to put you in a better mood.
Yes.
We're going to level you out because you get to have some drinks. You get to talk an album. This is Adele's 10 out of 10. It's volume 9, I believe. Yes, volume 9. We've done 9 of these.
It's a lot.
We've done 9 of these, and retrospectively, I'm surprised at how few of them are not liked by at least one person. I think it is a good sign of how eclectic all three of our tastes are. Mm-hmm. I've thought that you would hate certain things that I don't feel like any of you have. I'm trying to think of...
I'm going to hate some stuff.
On this?
It's coming.
Oh.
We'll see. We don't know.
No.
Rachel, you hated the Gorillas.
I didn't hate the Gorillas.
This is an ongoing, hilarious conversation.
System of a Down, though, I loved. You probably thought I wasn't going to like that one. That was a 10 out of 10, right?
Yes.
That was fucking amazing, actually.
I think Mesmerize is, to this day,
the
highest rated album
for us
on Verse Course Verse.
Wow.
I think
so good.
It got 2 10 out of 10s and a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Sounds right.
Wow.
I think Dirt got a 10 out of 10 and 2 9 out of 10s. It's anybody's guess who the 10 out of 10 was. I don't remember. Rachel, that was a funny joke. You're supposed to laugh.
Ha!
Deals 10 out of 10s. We're talking about Kanye West again.
Oh,
and I'm fine
Jesus.
with it. Hey, he's been out of the news. How long has he been out of the news for now?
I don't know. I saw him last week with some big shoulder pads. Have you seen that picture?
Oh, good.
I forgot about that. Yeah, man, his fashion.
That's what I need in my life.
It's high fashion,
Some
David.
big shoulder pads.
Yeah.
No, he's got some good ideas.
Hold up your finger like this. It's easier to edit.
I don't have to do that for me. In our last episode, Evil and I went through 2010, which was a very interesting year. And as I usually try to do in the year dissection, I save one album that I think there's a lot to talk about. And this, to me, by far, was the most talk-aboutable album in 2010. And that's what we're doing here. We're talking about My Beautiful, Dark, Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. Rachel, before studying for this, scale of 1 to 10, how familiar were you with this album?
I actually was incredibly familiar with this album and didn't realize that I knew like 50% of it.
Just radio listening alone?
No. So there's this white girl workout craze called High Fitness. And
is it spelled H-I Fitness?
H-I-G-H.
H-I
No, it's just like
dash.
high.
Oh.
Like high leg up.
That's not as...
I know.
Yeah, that's not as
Cheeky.
fun.
Sorry.
That's not as white woman.
It's not cheeky at all. 3 of these songs are a normal rotation in that class. So I actually not only knew them, but could dance to them if necessary. So,
Prove
Let's
it.
see. Yeah, prove it.
no.
Evil.
Make it. Make the
Same
space.
question. How familiar are... I don't really know in general how much of a Kanye person you are. We haven't really talked that much about Kanye.
I never followed his career
Smart.
like as it was happening. I'm fairly familiar with a lot of his music. This album, not as much. I knew like some of the singles. The deeper tracks, not as familiar with. So I had to actually sit down and listen to it and actually study a bit. I couldn't lean on my previous experience.
That's where we're at with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. When it came out, I bought it right when it came out. This was prime hip hop years for me. I really loved this album. Obviously, that's why it's on my 10 out of 10s, but I hadn't listened to it in probably 10 years. So that's why we're here. That's why we're doing it. There is a shit ton to talk about regarding this album. I'm going to get right into the most important part of the night and lead us there, Evil, because I think, and I didn't prep us for this, but I think we all are going to have to take a drink because an extremely fucking talented person just passed away.
Yes.
All right.
Go on.
Why,
Now
why do I have to?
You just made it again.
Because you're the saddest.
Yeah, Tina Turner passed away.
Tina fucking Turner, the queen of rock and roll.
Yeah, badass.
Yes.
Auntie, come on.
Tennessee native, Ike and Tina, which, you know, we all know what happened with them, but my God, Ike and Tina were insane. And then she goes on and she does her own thing.
I typed in Tina Turner into Google and it said, "Did you mean Simply the Best?"
You might
No,
have.
I meant Tina Turner. Those aren't even close.
Well, she was simply the best, though.
She was the best.
She died in Switzerland.
She did.
Yeah, so that...
She had dual citizenship, didn't she? She was like a naturalized citizen. Of,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't even... Was it Google? I can't remember where
think
I
was
saw
like
it.
Front story, because I saw it too.
Yeah, it's Tina Turner. Subheading was Swiss singer. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, Google?
Oh, that's
Come on.
right.
Swiss singer dies. Yeah.
We had this conversation in Messenger, didn't we?
Nobody
Maybe.
knows.
Yes.
What's
I don't know.
Messenger?
What is Messenger?
Are you talking about VCV chat pile? Chat pile or it's nothing, Rachel. Come on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I will start with what we're drinking tonight because I'm going to take a shot. And one of the things that I'm drinking, what Rachel taught me last time we talked about Kanye,
Oh my gosh.
is one of the instigators of his interruption of Taylor Swift at the VMAs was the fact that he drank a bottle of Hennessy on the red carpet on the way
a
inside.
bottle.
Powerful work,
Yes.
Kanye.
So, in honor of that, but in all seriousness, also in honor of Tina Turner, who was just badass of all badasses. We've lost a couple really fucking amazing female singers over the last year. I'm going to cheers that because the other thing I'm drinking, I've decided that at this point, Kanye West is a guilty pleasure just because he's such a jackass. And I'm drinking my biggest guilty pleasure, Bud Light Lime.
Gross.
I love Bud Light Lime. I love it so much. It's such a good summer drink. I love it.
Good for you.
I'm drinking it. That's what I'm drinking tonight. Rachel, what are you drinking? Oh my gosh, samesies.
This is a bottle of Hennessy.
That's a
Oh my God.
That's a real bottle.
You have to drink the whole thing.
Yeah, they didn't have smaller bottles, apparently.
get you a red carpet. She's
Yeah.
got
My-
Hennessy.
my Kanye.
We
She's
both
got
got
Hennessy.
Hennessy. Evil, do you have Hennessy?
Evil, God help me if you don't have Hennessy.
No, I don't have Hennessy here. The only cognac I have is Pierre Ferrand.
But do you have Malibuyow?
I do
Also
not.
no.
Damn it,
don't have
nobody's
Malibu
drinking
either.
Malibuyow.
I am, however, drinking a wonderful cocktail. I have these great big coupes that I can fit a double in.
That is
That is
a double.
a lot of drink.
It is a
It's
double.
pretty, too.
It's a Naked and Famous. I figured that was apropos.
Oh, that's good.
Remind me what is in a Naked and Famous.
Oh God, it's so good. It's kind of a mix of a Last Word and I think a Paper Plane.
So
It's 3/4 of an ounce of all four of these: mezcal, yellow chartreuse, Aperol, lime juice. Very tasty.
wow. No like absinthe rinse or anything like that.
Nope.
Man.
Nope.
I got it. That's
Super yummy.
yeah, good summer
Good
drink.
summer drink.
Hey-o.
Really good summer drink. And this fits 2 of them. So here we go.
Dose Nakeds, Dose Famous. Rachel, Evil, to Tina Turner.
Aw.
She was simply the best. How about that? As Rachel just proved.
was.
Who runs Bartertown?
Yes, that's better. Cheers. Oh, it's gonna be a long day.
You guys are both too young to remember, obviously no, but her like resurgence in the 80s, she was fucking huge
I
in
was,
the 80s.
I feel like I
pretty
was
young.
getting into music.
Yeah.
Original memories of music. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, she was a badass. The Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome era Tina Turner was on top of
What's
the world.
Love got to do with it?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit was huge.
Massive. And she was really one of the original, not one of the original, all those women that were just fucking treated like shit by, you know, I talked about Ronnie Spector and Tina Turner and Ike, all them. She was the first real big publicized, she got out from under this abusive piece of shit. And everybody was like, oh, there's the talent right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a force.
That's the best way to put it. Tina Turner was a force. We got to talk about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. Is it the first full-on rap 10 out of 10 we've done? I think it is.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it. Before we take a break, the song that you heard, because obviously I'm never going to get rights to Kanye West's music.
The fuck?
Never going to happen. Never going to happen.
I'll talk to him about that.
Yeah, text him.
You talk to him. Actually, you know, catch him on the right day. He might fucking come on.
You know? Maybe.
That'd be
Get
great.
us canceled.
yeah.
It would. The music that you heard coming in is by a band called MOONRIDER. Contacted us through Instagram. I immediately was totally into it. The song that you heard coming in is Warrior. As you heard, a little bit of a early 90s tip, but kind of Wolf Mother-ish.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like Reverbier Cosmic Wolf Mother.
Reverbier Cosmic.
Reverbier Cosmic Wolf Mother.
that
You
a
like
word?
that? Coin. MOONRIDER, you owe me a nickel for that. Because that should be plastered everywhere. Go to their Instagram. They're on Instagram. They're on, what's the thing? Spotify. It's MOONRIDER.
The thing.
All one word. MOONRIDER.band on Instagram. Awesome shit. We will play 2 more songs for our breaks. Hope we get you some downloads. Go download kind of an EP-ish. I think it's like 5 or 6 songs, but it's fucking rad. First 10 seconds, I was totally in. If you're ever touring around the Northwest, let us know. We'll come in. We'll talk to you. We'll rock out. MOONRIDER. You're going to hear a little more of them while we take a break. We'll be right back for some Yeezy. You ain't got no Yeezy in Serrano?
Let's see what you did.
We are back. The song that you heard from that break, Emerald Fire. Evil question. Northwest Portland metal band in the early 90s. Are you familiar with Floater?
Yeah. I remember Floater. I wasn't like super into them, but I remember being like, yeah, they were part of the music that I listened to at the time. Yeah.
Because that's who this song reminds me of, with a little bit of maybe some later years Jane's Addiction, which I fucking love later years Jane's Addiction.
You sure do.
I love all Jane's Addiction. All you people that it's nothing shocking or go home, you're wrong. There's like fucking 7 good Jane's Addiction albums, and I will fight anybody that disagrees. Emerald Fire is the name of the song by MOONRIDER. Go to moonrider.band on Instagram, Spotify. It's just MOONRIDER, all caps, one word. You know, that's the popular thing to do now. That's what gets you noticed. Everybody loves the caps lock.
Shouting.
Emerald Fire. We're going to play one more song for you in the next break, but for now, let's do it. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. What's up?
I'm just dabbing.
Oh, okay. Evil's in full fucking. This might be my favorite version of Evil. Like, you never know what's coming second to second.
Weird Evil can be fun.
Stats.
Yeah. It's by Kanye, right? This is his 5th studio album?
I believe it's Yee.
Is that right?
Yay.
This is a real question. Was it 5th?
I don't know stats.
Son of a bitch. I didn't know I was going to do this stat.
5 sounds right.
It is the 5th. I just know things. I'm just that smart.
You have one job.
Released in November of 2010.
November 22nd. That will come into play. I just want
Baby
Will it?
stats. So this was recorded shortly after the whole Taylor Swift debacle in September of 2009. And since he was getting so much shit in the media and by the president, who called him a jackass, this was recorded in Oahu in Hawaii. And he basically just invited all of his talented best friends to come down and
All the party people.
all the party people. And it's everybody and their mom is on this album.
To give us some... Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
I bet I'm going to do what you want me to
I think
do.
you are. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. Let's get to it.
So the 54th Grammy Awards 2012, this album won Best Rap
2012?
Album. It won Best...
Why'd
I
they...
know. It's just the way that...
Okay.
It's the way that the years
Okay.
work. 54th Annual Grammy Awards. This won Best Rap Album. It won Best Rap Song for All of the Lights, as well as Best Rap Song / Best Collaboration. That song was also nominated for Song of the Year. This did get a big snub, as it was not nominated for Album of the Year. A lot of people were kind of surprised because it rocked so hard, and it only got nominated in the rap category.
Do you have in front of you what the albums of the year's nominations were?
Foo Fighters, Wasting Light, Rihanna, Loud, Bruno Mars, Doo-Wops and Hooligans, Lady Gaga, Born This Way, and then the winner was Adele with 21.
Jesus fucking Christ. That's so bad. I mean...
So that makes sense outside of
It does. But... And Wasting
a
Light...
couple that I don't agree with.
I think Wasting Light is one of the best fucking rock albums of the last 20 years. But holy shit. That's fucking crazy to me.
To think about, these were the best of that year, but when you look at like Lady Gaga, Born This Way, like that might have been a great album that year, but in like her whole discography, and we're talking about Kanye's hands down best album ever. It doesn't compare. These are not in the same category at all. So the fact that he wasn't even nominated.
Can I frame this?
Yeah.
In the category of Best New Artist for 2012 was Skrillex.
Oh, so nothing mattered because they were about to take over the...
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I shouldn't even...
Ironically, it looks like Bon Iver won Best New Artist. So
Well, we're going to talk about him more.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Because he's all
He's-
fucking over
I
this
didn't even-
album.
Goddamn.
Justin Vernon, by the way.
To add insult to injury, and I get why... Well, I mean, I get it and I don't get it why Kanye was so pissed about this, but AllMusic gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Entertainment Weekly gave it an A. The Guardian, who we know and love, what did they give it, everybody? 4 out of 5 stars. The Independent gave it 5 out of 5 stars. MSN Music an A. NME 9 out of 10. Pitchfork 10 out of 10. Rolling Stone 5 stars. Spin 9 out of 10. USA Today 5 stars. Everybody said that this was one of the greatest hip hop albums ever.
Right.
And he did. I think this spun him much worse because this was the first album of him coming off of... Up until this point in his career, he had been only lauded as a genius and perfect and amazing. And then the year before this album was beginning to be created, the media turned on him. Justifiably.
Right. Billboard named this #1 top 25 best albums of 2010. Didn't it get
Don't
put
know.
on there,
I
though?
purposely don't look on it.
Oh, on the 500 greatest albums, it actually went from 353 in 2012 and has now since revised in 2020 and is now number 17 on the 500 greatest albums of all time.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so-
God.
This is the beauty
That's pretty fucking
of,
good.
I'd invest in that stock.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the beauty of the post re-review of these fuckers.
Right.
Which also
Sure.
the ever important and all knowledgeable Needle Drop gave this a 6 out of 10 when it came out. And then re-reviewed it 2 years ago
Yeah.
when he hit 2 million subscribers. Congratulations.
Got to massage those numbers there, Needle Drop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think we should
and
re-listen to Metallica?
Please,
Well,
no.
on his
Don't.
second
One
listen,
more time.
he gave it another 6 out of 10. Great job, Needle Drop. We have so much respect for you.
Yeah.
I've gotten no questions yet on why we keep shitting on Needle Drop, and I hope it stays that way.
Somebody's going to contact us.
Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a
Whose beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy is this?
barbaric exploration of the human instinct or the id or whatever. Evil, you're making a face that I can't read. What are your thoughts when I say that?
Are you evil literate?
What? Dad joke of the night. But that's not even a dad. That's too brainy
That's
for
clever.
dad joke of the night.
Told
yeah.
you, lots of big ideas in this little head. I love heels. I love I love like lovable villains, which is Kanye.
Oh, is this so?
Lovable villains?
The Kanye West that made this album, is this a heel character? Is that the way you're going?
Maybe. I think a lot of what he does is a heel character.
Interesting.
Because he's like come out and said that I'm playing a heel multiple times in interviews. He's done that before.
But do you think that's just a way to cover his tracks after he does something
Of course.
fucking stupid?
Of course it is. It's plausible deniability at that point. I mean, if you say I'm in kayfabe right now, kayfabe is, to the uninitiated, if you're into like pro wrestling, kayfabe is the illusion that wrestling is a real thing.
Is it an acronym?
Kayfabe? Kayfabe.
I like that.
Really?
I feel like I can use that.
I grew up in the 80s with professional wrestling. Kayfabe, in professional wrestling, the fact or convention of presenting staged performance as a genuine or authentic act.
So this was the first Kanye West album that I had picked up and immediately loved since his first one. What was the first time, Evil, that you heard Kanye that you said, fuck, there's something here?
Oh, fuck. It's the fucking Evel Knievel video. Remembering that time Evel Knievel sued Kanye West. That's the top result.
Oh, he
Calm
did?
down.
Which is
Yeah, he
fucking
did.
awesome. Yeah, Knievel filed a lawsuit claiming copyright infringement relating to his name and likeness, calling the clip vulgar and offensive and damaging.
Calm down.
Really?
His name's Evel Knievel. Come on.
Well, I kind of wish that you would have never told me that, because I just lost a little bit of Evel Knievel love.
Oh, it was Touch the Sky. Sorry.
Yes, Touch the Sky. That's
It wasn't
it.
strong.
I think I remember watching that video and being like, that guy's doing something that is, yeah.
A lot of people, I think, would consider Late Registration his Mona Lisa or whatever you want to call it. Rachel, what about you? When was the first time you heard Kanye? And
I guess I was later to the game. It was Graduation, I think.
Was
and
it
that was
Stronger?
when Stronger came out, yeah. So that was more.
first pass, Evil, and following listens, what were your feelings on this album?
First pass through, the songs that I was familiar with, I'm like, these are good. And the rest of it was like, eh. But it grew on me for sure. You and I had a brief conversation about, you were listening to it with the lyrics open for the first time, and you're like, holy fuck.
Right?
And
Yes.
that made a difference for me, for better or for worse. But I wound up liking stuff more because of that. Like I said, I like the heel. I like him leaning into that. That's
what this is. This is an album of a man admitting, yeah, I'm depraved. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah. The current state of culture exists in a way to where we have this on tap access to everybody who's famous. Like they have to engage so much. All of their socials, and they're like constantly interacting, and we know everything about them.
Yep.
Nuno, who I fucking love, was interviewed by
do?
Rick Beato. Yeah. I don't think we've talked about how much I
No.
like him yet. Rick Beato interviewed Nuno. It's fucking one of the best interviews I've ever heard. Nuno was like, I don't like the engaging aspect of it, takes away from rock stardom. He's like, I don't want to see Jimmy Page make pasta, you know? And
All right. That's a good point.
yeah, right? I mean, it takes away from the mystique. It's almost like how artists need to invent mystique, whether he's doing that or not, whether he's actually doing it deliberately, maybe sometimes doing it deliberately. It makes him interesting.
It
Like,
does. I feel like it's so on the nose, though, that it's almost, you're a big UFC guy like I used to be. And at some point, I can't pinpoint it, but at some point, it did turn a little bit pro wrestling. It did turn
yeah.
a little bit. It's bad acting promotion. And that's kind of how I feel about Kanye sometimes.
I love it. I love the kayfabe. I love, like, I'm playing this heel character. I fucking love it.
I wish I could title our episode still, because this would definitely be kayfabe.
There's always the finale. I might be in full fucking face paint. Who knows?
I love it. Ultimate Warrior style.
That was going on the Patreon.
He wasn't a heel.
Maybe Sting. I don't know. I can do the crow paint.
Oh,
right.
Ooh.
paint your face a shallow
Oh,
smile.
I don't want to turn this into a fucking WWE, like, World Wrestling.
Do you know how many fucking listens wrestling podcast, by
Yeah.
all means, talk wrestling.
Sting and the Ultimate Warrior were a tag team early in their career. Those guys like came
Were
up
they?
together. Yeah.
Rachel,
David.
revisiting this album, going through it, initial thought.
Well, I had never sat down with the lyrics, and I was able to listen to this kind of passively in the car the last couple weeks. But when I sat down with the lyrics, it is a piece of art. It is fabulous. It's so good. There are a couple songs that I dance to, but that sounds bad. Let's not put that in there. There's a couple songs.
Why is that?
Because
Why is that
pervy
bad?
guys, I swear to you, when I danced in college, their head went to like not ballet dancing.
They can't see you.
No, I know.
Rachel, let me tell you something about how we're going to get popular.
Fuck off.
But as a female, if you can't say I like dancing to a couple songs, then this is fucking dumb.
You boys are disgusting.
Everybody, if you're picturing Rachel dancing, I want you to know that you need to be picturing corny white woman dancing.
First of
okay?
all,
Continue.
I am a very good dancer.
Yes.
White girl workout.
High
High
whatever.
fitness. I was a
High
professional
fitness.
ballerina
Very
for an
excellent
entire
dancer.
weekend with Idaho Ballet.
Did you guys watch the 34-minute
No,
video
I saw
Kanye
that
West
there
did
was a
for
thing this
album?
morning, but I didn't look it up.
It's so fucking stupid.
Is it?
I wish that I would not have
Okay, well,
watched it.
good. Did not waste my time.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyway, keep going. You love to dance.
I do love to dance. High fitness. I didn't know the lyrics, and not obviously, but they are so complex and so good and so well written. I say complex, but they are also, there's like such an easy flow. The man is just a nutcase, but he is so fucking talented.
I'm going to be that guy for a second, and I want you guys to audibly roll your eyes so the people can hear it. But I am going to be that guy. I have the record behind me. 3 LP record, 180 grams. I sat down with it for the first time since I bought it the night that I could not contain myself, and I think I just texted like a holy fuck, and that's all I said. Turning this on a record and sitting down, nothing in the room. It's the room that I listen to records in. There's no TV, there's no anything. It's just, there's not a lot of light, leather sofa,
Padded walls.
high arched ceilings. It's a perfect room for listening to music. Turn this on. I have never been more impressed regarding the production of an
Right.
album in my life than I was that night. Listening to the lyrics, awesome, sometimes not awesome, that sort of thing. But this is one of the most well-produced albums I have ever heard in my
Yeah.
life. I was just consistently blown away. Every single bass decision in each song, and we'll get into more of that, and every single snare hit and every single synth decision, as far as volume, and the choices on this album are just amazing to me. I'm completely blown away. It's just so well produced.
I don't want to roll my eyes at that.
Fine, I will.
I was being the, you gotta have the record and you gotta put,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
more of
You
the
know what I was-
snobby, like-
you know what I was
Okay,
doing.
fair.
Evil, would you call this a concept album?
No, I don't think it's a concept album. I think it's a statement album. I think he went out of his way to. I mean, this was very much in reaction to his life of the time. Some of the songs were kind of bouncing around for over 2 years. So it's not like it's too non-deliberate to be a concept album.
Interesting.
But at the same time, it's like ultra deliberate in
the messaging?
specifics. And well, in like the production, it's very meticulously produced, like you just talked about. The overarching component of it is not at all. It's Kanye. It's very up and down and all over the place. So I wouldn't call it a concept album at all. Definitely a statement. Like he was trying to turn heads and look at me, very much so.
There are a couple songs on here that it's funny, and maybe I'm way off. The album is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and he has some songs on here that are very, he's got like Hell of a Life and Devil in a New Dress, and these songs that it almost seems like they're meant to be perverse.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem that bad to me. It doesn't seem that.
What do you mean?
If I'm thinking of a guy like Kanye West's Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Oh, fair. Okay.
It's a lot more fucking twisted than
Right.
what he has on
This
this
isn't
album.
dark. This
Like,
might
no,
be fantasy,
like,
but
he's
it's
got-
not dark.
Yeah.
It's a little depraved.
But barely. It's regular rap depraved.
Yeah.
Like, it's what you expect.
I mean,
it's like, I'm famous and I get every wish and desire fulfilled at the snap of a finger, which is...
Maybe it's just not appropriately titled then.
The album starts with Dark Twisted Fantasy, and it kind of leading you into the longer songs. These aren't the 3 minutes and then you're good of the later Kanye that he decided was important. There are interludes, there are outerludes, there are instrumental parts.
Right.
Rachel, as our resident pop banger lover, did that drive you nuts, or were you into it?
No, I felt like it was put together very well. I kind of loved having an interlude. I loved the ending. I felt like it was organized really, really well. And it felt very concept-y to me, ironically enough.
There's a hint of Greek tragedy in this album.
Yeah. Power kind of felt that way.
You fight and you scrap and you crawl to get to this position, and then you get there and it's what ruins you. It's very Shakespearean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good take.
I don't know if he did it on purpose, but...
No.
I did.
Well, I agree with Evil. I don't think he did.
Okay.
No, I disagree. I think entirely he did this on purpose. I feel like this man is so focused on the art of things that he couldn't have not thought of this. I don't think he could have stumbled upon this on accident.
I saw a Rick Rubin interview recently where the interviewer was like grilling him, like, you don't play instruments? He's like, no. You don't like really know how to do production well? He's like, no, not at all. He's like, so what do you do? He's like, I have good taste. That's I'm summarizing it, but that's essentially like, as a producer, as a very famous, successful producer, Rick Rubin distilled his career down. He has good taste. I think that's what Kanye is as a producer and an artist. He knows what fucking sounds good. He does. I don't think he's so deliberate, like, I'm making this a Greek tragedy. No, he does stuff because I think he has just fucking had a really good grasp on what fucking sounded good at the time. When these really bombastic artistic statements come out, it's really easy to overlay a lot of layers of
subcontext
subcontext that I really don't think was there. I think he just like invited all of his buddies and he made a fucking album that sounded really good.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it has to do with his taste, with what he grew up loving. You know, we'll get into influences and influencees, and anytime that you find somebody that grew up with a certain style of music but also loved a completely different style, you're going to get something unique. And Kanye brought something to hip hop that was completely different. I think this album is a really good look into that. I do agree a little bit with Evil that going through this, my first couple of listens, really studying, I was like, oh my God, so brilliant. Fame, monster album. And, you know, at the end, who was it at the end? Gil Scott? Who's at the end? It's one of the Black Panther orators. I think it's Gil Scott.
Yeah, Gil Scott Heron.
Yeah. The more I listened to it, the more I felt like some of these decisions he just kind of stumbled into.
I'm a guitar rock guy. Some of my favorite guitar players, when like in interviews, people will ask him about the song structure and they're like, I don't read music. And like, I don't know what this chord is. It just fucking
Dave
sounds
Grohl.
good. Yeah. It just sounds good.
You know, you had this 5/4 and then you augmented the 7th and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. I'm not like obsessing about the hows and whats and whys. It's like, I'm just out there fucking making shit.
I think that's okay though.
100%.
Okay.
Some of my favorite, I wasn't trying to like denigrate or like take away from anything that he does because it's genius. Like he'll tell you it's genius.
He'll tell you.
He is a genius.
Yeah.
And then he will choke a South Park writer with a fish stick. Top 10 rap lines of all time right there. Scale of 1 to 10, Rachel, or does it vary? The features on this album.
10. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I really do believe that this sounds like a very talented man and his very talented friends. Like these people don't outshine him, but definitely compliment him.
It's very, very rare that you find an album with a ton of features that you can tell the person didn't just say, we need this person and this person and this person on. They made the song. They were like, you know,
what this needs.
who would do great on this
Yeah.
is this person.
I have something to say about that. And I think this goes into his taste. He just fucking has a grasp of what sounds
Right.
good. And this album came out November 22nd, 2010. Nicki Minaj is all over this.
All over.
Yes.
And
I know where
she
this is going.
her debut album came out on November 22nd, 2010. She was not a thing
No,
yet.
she didn't have
And
an album yet.
It came out the same fucking day. Her debut came out the same day as this
I think she
album.
was making $50K for a verse, no album out, actually.
He was able to like understand and recognize that, oh, she's talented. I'm putting her on my fucking album.
And she was smart enough to release her album on the same day. So people would be like, who's this
Yes,
bitch? Does she
exactly.
have anything? Oh,
Right?
this. Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
There's silliness in this album. Just a little bit of silliness.
My God.
Kanye, you're not
Silliness.
sitting in coach. There's a fucking line on this album where he's talking about, yeah, that's why I'm still sitting
Yeah.
in coach. Yeah, you haven't sat in coach for a very long time, Kanye West. You lying sack of shit. But he also has the fucking samples in this are amazing. When a guy like Kanye is sampling fucking like 21st century schizoid man,
Right.
Yeah.
holy shit. He's sampling James Brown. He's sampling Rick James, King Crimson, Smokey Robinson. He's got the ear.
Yes.
Are you guys Iron Man fans?
Oh, I thought you meant like the Marvel hero.
Like,
And I was like, yeah, I guess.
Like Sabbath Iron Man? What do you
Yeah, like that Iron Man.
are you seriously
Captain
asking
America.
me this question?
I wasn't seriously asking, no. I think that there is a shit ton of things to go over in the awards and categories, so that's
Should we take a break?
That's what we're gonna do.
Maybe a few.
We're gonna take a break.
You're
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
This heart is haunted. I need the danger. Take me away and call me the stranger. Can't crawl out. Your web is gonna choke ya. Spinning your web of life. I lost my love, can't hold love. I don't know no love.
We are back. We're back. The album, friend, song. The song that you heard coming in to the break was King Crawler. This is, speaking of 2010, this song has a little bit of a 2010 feel. A little bit of a 60s influenced Joshua Tree production, bass guitar, Them Crooked Vultures, Third Man record style of music. It's good stuff. You've heard Warrior, you've heard Emerald Fire, you've heard King Crawler. Go to moonrider.band on Instagram. Go to Moonrider all caps on Spotify. Check them out. Hope you enjoyed the music on this episode. Moonrider, hope we got you a couple of downloads. It's really good stuff. I choose the goddamn music that we play. I do it for a reason because it's good, motherfucker.
I'm a fan of Moonrider, by the way.
Are you?
Yes.
Have you been listening during our...
Yep. I have.
That's awesome.
nice work.
I dig them. It's not Moonriders, which I think I may have said earlier. It's Moonrider. All caps.
So it's more like Moonrider.
There's no exclamation.
Library.
The David Crosby Meh Award for bad reviews.
So bad.
Ooh, I'm looking up for this. What? Your Hennessy? You just took a big swig of Hennessy. That's good. It's
No.
good stuff.
It's strong.
Drugs, rock, and Hennessy. Thug like your Pac on your enemies.
Stop it.
David,
This is long.
that's what she said.
And this was November 28th in 2010.
Oh, good.
So this was 6 days after it came out.
Maybe he should do a re-listen.
This is garbage. We're on Rachel status here. 1 star. Although I didn't like Kanye's previous 2 records, I liked Late Registration, and based on the glowing reviews for this one, decided to get it on the day it came out. My big issue with Kanye and his music is that he's using his talent to inspire future artists to see that the path to success is to use the N-word like it's a conjunction. Drop F and mother F-bombs throughout every song, and of course, refer to women as bitches or hoes, unless it's your mother. Apparently, Kanye's intimidated enough critics around the country that they not only gloss over his juvenile lyrics, but give him high marks for this garbage of a record. 5 stars from Rolling Stone, 10 from Pitchfork. While I'm not too well versed in hip-hop, last time I checked, it's still considered music. I am certain that any hip-hop artist singing about bitches, hoes, being rich, getting head, Dropping F and MF bombs and using an offensive slur in every song would be universally canned by critics and rightfully ridiculed by the press.
Has he ever listened to rap music before?
This is 2010. This person is woke as fuck. I keep hoping that the bar for hip-hop artists gets raised above these trashy lyrics and critics start holding artists like Kanye West to the same standards as everyone else in the music industry. I despise hearing people say the N-word and cannot understand why it's used so freely and publicly by some of the same people who would turn on any white person for saying the word even once.
Well, yeah.
This guy has a lot of good ideas. It's beyond
Going.
It's beyond hypocritical, and the tired rationalizations, we can say it to each other, it ends with an A, have become lame excuses. While I hate George Bush for a lot of reasons, it's hard to reconcile how the person who publicly called him a racist on live TV, in parentheses, George Bush hates black people, in case you guys forgot about that.
I did forget. Thank you for the jogging my memory.
Can release record after record filled with nothing but racial slurs and sexist comments. Bottom line, this is another Kanye West CD. It will sell millions. He'll make millions. And we can all look forward to a whole new generation of rappers being just like Kanye. Sorry for sounding preachy. I was hoping that the critics were rewarding him for his growth and maturity as an artist, but could not have been more mistaken. Lot to unpack on that one.
Woof. He had me with the conjunction part, and then he lost me with the rest completely. That was a funny joke that he made, but everything else.
Yeah.
She.
Robert, man, you made some really good points in that. And I think we're going to have to unpack this. That's our Amazon bad review. I think that's magnificent.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's a work of art on par with this album.
I think if he gave it a second listen, he would think differently.
Rachel DMX Award.
DMX. The other talent is what makes this unique. His talent and his ability to bring people together. It is like the Oscars of rap albums. Like anybody is on this album. It's really, really well done. And like I said, there's not a person that outshines that I feel like he pulled on the album to sell. I feel like a lot of people do collaborations to be like, I bet I can get some more listens if I put this person on there. Like we said, Nicki Minaj was not out there yet, and the guy has an ear for talent. The whole album, the whole composition of the album is what makes it unique.
Yeah, I think Kanye has the ability to backhand compliment himself so well. He
That's a fucking great take. Backhand compliment himself. Yeah.
There's so much feeding his own ego while trashing himself. That was in 2010. That just wasn't really a thing. Kendrick Lamar's and the people that were really trying to say something wasn't so big back then.
A very similar sentiment. I think the chip on his shoulder, like this is the first album he put out in sort of an environment of backlash against him. I literally had in my notes written kayfabe. It's like he's like, oh, I'm gonna turn heel on these guys. I think that was a conscious decision. Have either of you watched the documentary produced by the guy that he commissioned just to follow him around with a camera through his whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, did you not watch that, David?
Sounds
Before
terrible.
It's no. It's amazing.
It's really good.
It's so good. So it filmed him from when he was really young.
It was a while. Yeah.
It covers like a good chunk of his life. A buddy of his just filming when he was getting his start with Jay-Z and stuff, and throughout his career. The point in that documentary when he was in Hawaii and like inviting people into this, basically like a commune,
right,
where he was like recording this. The Grammy thing with Taylor Swift happened, and then he received all this backlash, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go bigger." And I think that is just like, fuck, I just got to lean into it, you know. When he's on, and if anyone who listened to us talk about his most recent album, he was not on. When he's on, he's a true artist. He is a tastemaker, and that's what, at least at this point in time, he definitely was.
Yeah,
unabashed. I love your like gives himself backhanded compliments. That's so perfect.
Good job, David.
Yay, I
Yay.
win.
Yeah.
Rachel, what about you?
Copy paste. I feel like everything that Evil just said. but also, shoot, I lost it.
You'll get it back. Too much Hennessy.
Too much Hennessy. I mean,
we've been talking about... Sorry, go ahead.
you could add to that of what makes him a rock star. Again, his ability to draw all these super talented people together. Have to have a lot of power to bring those people all into the... I mean, you're like, hey, want a free
I feel
trip
like
to Hawaii,
one man
but...
should have all that power. No, I think that's spot on. Especially in 2010 when rappers were the new rock stars.
Yeah.
Like this whole album is about being famous and having cars and fucking porn stars and doing coke. This album is a fucking rock star album.
Oh, for sure. The content of it.
Totally is.
Yeah.
Rachel, overrated, underrated, properly rated.
Very properly rated. I think it was appreciated in its time. It's appreciated now. It went 5 times platinum. It sold almost 500,000 albums in the first week. I think people outside of, what was his name? Finnegan, the meh guy.
Oh, Robert Zimmerman.
I was way off. Samsonite.
Finnegan's good.
That's the best joke you've ever made.
Thank you.
I don't think this album's talked about that much anymore. I think it's all college dropout and late registration.
Sure.
So I'm going to say a teeny bit underrated now, and I'm also going to say very underrated just because of the fucking Grammy thing we were talking about.
It did get that snub,
God.
but the fact that so many people thought that it got that snub means that so many people recognize it. It was just the Grammys, those people that nominated the Grammys.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Kanye is the type...
Wait, I'm going to let you finish, but...
Can I finish? Kanye is the type of guy that needs that validation.
Sure.
He has literally said that a man is his financial worth.
Yes.
For somebody like him to come out with something like this in that year and not even be nominated. And that's the only time that I've ever really understood him being a little bitch about, I sell all the albums, I make all the money, you invite me to this Grammy thing to not get fucking album of the year. Why am I here? For as stupid as the Grammys are, I think that's a good point.
James?
Crickets.
Do you have something to say?
Would we be doing this podcast on this album if the Grammys didn't snub him?
I would say yes, because I had no concept of who had anything to do with the Grammys at the time when this came out. And I really did. Like, when this CD came out, I went out, I bought it, I listened to it in my car all the time, loved it. So I would say yes, but
Okay.
You could be right, because here's the thing is, who knows what would have happened with Kanye if he would have had that one album of the year.
Right. Would he have peaked?
Yeah. Would he have turned into the fucking nut job that he is now?
I mean, he was already halfway there. He was getting there.
He was living on
There's
a
a
prayer.
big difference between between interrupting Taylor Swift and saying I like Hitler. There's a pretty big fucking scale of
Depends on how much you like
difference.
Taylor Swift and how much you hate Hitler.
Really disappointed that none of you picked up my Bon Jovi joke, but I
What did
will
you say?
continue.
What'd you say?
I didn't hear
Rachel
it.
said that he was halfway there, and I said he was living on a prayer.
I didn't even hear
I
it.
was too busy listening to myself. I'm sorry.
Evil influences and influencees.
Jay-Z and King Crimson? I don't know.
That's a good combo.
Yeah, it is a really good combo. And some Rick James sprinkled in there. I mean,
Bitch.
Rick James, bitch.
I'm Rick James. What is five
Fuck your
fingers say to
couch.
the face?
Rachel?
He's noted as an influence. Tribe Called Quest, also Mos Def, Common, Fugees, influencees, Drake.
Drake was on this album.
I know,
Yeah.
and
What the
Drake
Fuck.
worshipped
Barely.
Kanye.
Yep.
Also, Logic notes Kanye as a very large influence.
Here's what I say for influences. First off, one of the big ones, and he had him on here, is the RZA. He's always fucking loved the RZA. He had the RZA on, and I just love him. But the two influences that Kanye West has cited that I really hear through specific aspects of this album are the Far Side, who we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Who I fucking love. That's one of his favorite groups of all time.
Fuck, you're I did not find that. That's interesting. That's very interesting because I completely see that.
The Far Side 2,
Yeah.
the album that we just gushed over last year.
Which is awesome.
That's one of his favorite albums of all time.
He's got good taste.
But a big one that has a lot to do with the synths he chose and things like this is one of the albums that he gives a lot of credit to for finding and really helping him out with his sound early on was Portishead.
Huh.
What?
You know the Portishead, the one with Dummy? I
Yeah.
think it's Dummy.
That's
right? That's the name. He heard that when he was young and it fucking knocked him on his ass.
Oh, man. You're fucking kidding me.
No, he's
That...
evil.
Fuck. I'm
Never mind the Bullets
reeling on the Portishead because I fucking love their first album so much.
They have a lot of really good shit.
I think The College Dropout is his best album, personally.
Is that second album? No, that's...
Yep.
Oh,
That was first.
really?
I think this is a great album, but I don't think it's his best by far. I think that someone could make the argument that it's one of his best.
What about you, Rachel?
It's pretty close with College Dropout, but this is can't compete with the production on this one. So it's kind of hard to not think that it's...
I think the difference is it's a really hungry up and coming Kanye versus a I've made it chip on his shoulder Kanye.
Yeah.
Those are like which
Sure.
they're both but they're both
What
they're
sound do you
both
want?
fucking really good. They're both really good.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's kind of a yes or no for me because it's not my favorite album of his.
What is?
Same as Evil's. It's
Oh,
his
okay.
first album, which is surprising because a lot of it, like usually people are citing his second album. His second album is what a lot of people cite as a perfect hip hop album, which I don't necessarily agree, but it's definitely not a Nevermind the Bullocks award. This album might be my favorite production of his.
Yeah.
But he has so many fantastic albums, which is one thing that I've realized. I've listened to a lot of Kanye this year, and holy fuck, he has a lot of good albums.
I
Yeah.
have a interesting question. How do we judge him? Do we judge him as a musical artist or as a producer? Because those are like two different skill sets.
I judge him as a producer, personally. Just because, I like him as a rapper, but the thing that fucking kicks my ass about him is his production, are the beats he comes up with, the structure of a song, and decide what fucking hip hop artist would have ever put King Crimson
Yeah,
in their fucking
that's
shit.
fucking brilliant.
Where are we at? The John Paul Jones Award, Evil. What do you got?
They're fucking all on the album already.
Yeah.
Everyone's there.
Everybody's there. There's
Elton John and Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Bon Iver or Bon Iver, depending on where you live, is on there. Fucking Drake is whispering on a track somewhere.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj before she was Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Fucking RZA, Jay-Z's all over the place. I mean, Kid Cudi is on there. Rick Ross.
Yeah, Rick Ross has a
Fucking
amazing
John
verse.
Legend is on there. I mean,
John Legend is great on here.
I hate that song. Fuck you.
Oh.
Not you, but that song. I wasn't talking to you.
I have a big John Paul Jones award, but I'm not going to
Oh.
give it yet. I'm going to save it. But my big one was figuring out this week that Elton John is on this fucking
Elton
album.
John's
I had
on the
no
album.
idea.
Yeah.
And also, giant crush on Alicia Keys. How could I not? So
Right.
very pro this. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. John Paul Jones, he figured it out.
He's got so many people
no.
on there.
Dude, seriously. Rachel, what song are you giving to somebody for this?
Monster. I feel like...
Really?
Yes. And I feel like that is because I don't feel like he put people on this album to get listens. But I do feel like that is the most universal song to where you get a good taste of who he is as a musician.
We forgot, so I'm going to... hey, David, edit this in. Before we get into talking about this album, we got to do the friendship test.
No!
Son of a bitch.
I thought you were going to forget it.
Nope.
This was this even in the notes? Because I honestly completely forgot
It
about
wasn't.
this.
See,
No,
here's the
he
thing, you
left it
guys.
out of
We've
the
done
notes.
this before. For
I know, but if
Christ's
it's not in the
sake.
notes, I could...
No, you're
Forget
right.
it. Okay.
I did. You're right. You're
so
right.
let me think just for 1 second.
I have an inkling, and I don't remember if it's because This is the point of the friendship test, is I feel like you
Yeah.
and I have talked about this song before. I may be wrong, but I think we have. So I'm saying your favorite song on this is Monster.
Okay.
Evil, I had no idea coming into this what your preference is on this style of album. I really have. What I decided to do is I figured there was a small chance that maybe he decided I want to work out to this album. Because there are a couple of fucking
I did work out to this
hardcore
album
bangers.
last night, by the way.
Yeah.
That is why I'm going Hell of a Life, because there is a Iron Man connection and it fucking pounds your face off with the bass. So Hell of a Life is what I'm doing. Rachel,
Pounds your
what are
face off.
Evil and I's? That's what she said.
If I were you, I would like, I'm going to go with Power. And I say that because it felt like a good story. And in my brain, sometimes if I like a thing, then you like the thing.
We frequently match on
Yeah.
our favorite songs.
Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah,
Do you guys frequently?
we do.
If I was Evil, I'm trying to think of, it's either All of the Lights or Monster, because I want to go with the same, like, what's a good workout song? And I feel like both of those are. I'm going to go with All of the Lights.
They're both very good workout songs. Evil, what are our favorites?
Rachel's Runaway, you're Monster.
I think those are both very good
Those are
Yeah.
good
guesses. No, dude, seriously.
Yeah.
You said Monster, Rachel.
I said Monster. There's, it can get all the people on there. There's so many people on that song, get different tastes of music on there. So I feel like anybody that likes any of those people it can be their gateway drug into Kanye.
I am saying All of the Lights. I feel like the second that you hear that brass come in and then the drum beats come in, if you're not into that, then don't even bother with this album. Evil, no, dude, seriously.
Power.
No one.
It's all
mentioned that.
Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Kanye.
It is. Yes.
And I like the triumphant stuff. It is the triumphant stuff.
That's a really good point. That would also be a good song to work out to.
The John Popper Award for Best Hook. I'm going to start it off because I'm going to keep talking about the same song. It's fucking Power. 21st century. I mean, that's fucking amazing. And then
Yeah.
he keeps going into the no one man should have all that power. That's such a good line, too.
Yeah.
Even if he had no idea what he was talking about and it meant nothing, there's something about that line that's fucking awesome. Rachel, what is the best hook?
Yeah, I'm going to steal that. It's the earwormiest, as my friend Eva would say.
What about you?
All of the lights.
All of them.
I love the
Yeah, all of
lights.
them. That song is super catchy. And
Agreed.
Rihanna's like her part is like beyond catchy in that song. I can't get that out of my head.
Oh,
I've listened to
Rihanna.
this
Yeah, it was
multiple times. Yeah, that's a great.
She's just-
The additional vocals on that song: Rihanna, Kid Cudi, Tony Williams, The Dream, Charlie Wilson, John Legend, Ellie Jackson, Alicia Keys, Elton John, Fergie, Ryan Leslie, Drake, Alvin
Okay.
Fields, and Ken Lewis.
Yeah, there's one.
I missed that.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
That's what she said. No, that's what he said.
The John Prine Best Lyric Award, Evil.
This is a very easy question. I bet we all have the same lyric.
You think so?
What?
What?
No! There's so many good ones.
You all like putting the in the sarcophagus? What?
Okay. What the fuck does that mean? Just to
It
like...
doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm
It
serious.
said
Dude, there are
he-
so
he
many
killed
like
Okay.
he killed it. They're so
Oh. Thank
I
you.
mean,
Okay, that's much better. I get it now.
this was so difficult. I'm specifically not choosing the word hard to choose John Prine
Grow
lyrics
up.
for because they're so sophomoric. And some of
Yes.
the most clever lyrics, I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't.
Yeah.
So much head, I woke up to Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
And if I don't use rubbers, need more covers.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for this because it's so fucking ridiculous. And that's what makes them clever in the context of everything going on in the whole album.
See, that's what makes me that's the reminder to me that this isn't some brilliant fucking Shakespearean thing he's doing. He's a fucking jackass. Okay, so
There's no fucking John Prine on this album. That's what I'm going to say.
I like that answer. Rachel, what about you?
Yeah.
I picked this lyric because the fucking audacity of this guy. If God had an iPad, I'd be on his playlist.
That's good though.
Like,
That's good.
kind of fucking balls do you have, bro?
Black ones.
Yeah.
It tells you.
Yeah. We forgot about his black balls, you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to vote. What is the Kanyeest Kanye line on this album? Is it "Me found bravery in my bravado"? How about from Power? "I don't need your bitch. I'm on my own dick."
That was almost on my list.
Yeah, that was almost on mine too.
How about from Munster? "Head of the class, and she just want to swallow shit."
Right.
Swallow shit.
How about "Praises due to the Most High, Allah. Praises due to the Most Fly, Prada."
Right.
I mean, you talk about a guy out of the fucking... For a guy that's that religious, what's the thing about a camel getting through a needle's eye? If you're rich, it's not going to happen. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
It's harder to get into heaven or something like
Then,
that, right?
As a
camel
rich
to get
person,
through
it's
the eye of
harder
a
to get
needle.
into heaven than a camel to get...
I'm
Yeah.
afraid that's what she said. Just sit with it for a minute.
And of course, the last line that I have, "My presence is a present. Kiss my ass."
Yeah. That's the winner.
Oh, that one's great.
Okay, so my honest answer, though, for best line is the whole chorus to All of the Lights. I love the cop lights, flashlights, rock life, thug life, drug life. I think that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I just really like "I was the abomination of Obama's nation."
You jackass.
That's so good. It really is. Evil,
Yes.
it's your award. What's the Eddie Van Halen?
The Eddie Van Halen
Who
award.
is Eddie Van Halen?
God.
You guys have never told me.
Careful. There's jokes, and then there's...
In All of the Lights, it's like the synth toms that drive that song forward are so fucking good. Dude,
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's once again that
He's like tripling snares. It's fucking crazy.
it's so
Yes.
like it's almost distorted. I fucking
Yep.
love that. I absolutely love that in that song.
It's a good
One of
answer.
my favorite pieces of the album, pieces of production, and he, trust me, he's good at what he does. So that is
He murdered. Yeah, that's a good answer. Rachel?
I said the piano on Runaway. It was so simple and so beautiful.
My Eddie Van Halen award, there is a verse on this album that is one of the best verses I've ever heard from somebody that I can't fucking stand. Nicki Minaj on Monster
Oh my God.
yeah.
obliterates fucking every... She is on a song with Kanye and Jay-Z, a little bit of Rick Ross, and she blows everybody out of the fucking water. She murders it. Every time I hear it, I am in awe of the context and the vibe that she gives and the different connotations of her voice. And it's fucking insane. That verse
so
is
good.
It's so fucking good. And I really I can't say enough how much I don't like Nicki Minaj. And so it's that much more of it's just it's so good. The Surfer Rosa Award, I think it's put together incredibly well. I agree that I don't think it's so much a concept album, but I do think that there's a natural progression.
I agree. Like I said earlier, having a strong entrance and interlude and having a slower ending, I think it was put together perfectly. This was a great album.
Like I said earlier, I wasn't super familiar with this album. First couple of listens, first half, like 10 out of 10. First 6 songs, 10 out of 10. It wavered towards the end, and I had this whole take on Kanye being bipolar and how this album felt like a representation of that.
Yeah.
But then I sat down and actually listened to the second half more, and some of those songs grew on me to the point to where I can't, that take doesn't sit with me as well as it did early on. I still think the second half is weaker than the first half. It's up and down a bit more, but it is more interesting. Runaway is interesting to me. Hell of a Lie is interesting to me. I like the way that Lost in the World flows into the last track. Tracks 7 through 13 aren't as strong to me as 1 through 6.
So, okay. So speaking to that then, the Time of Your Life Award, Evil, it's probably in the second half. What is the worst song on this album?
Surprise, I'm not a big fan of ballads. And hip hop ballads.
The Blame Game.
Specifically. Yeah, the Blame Game. I don't like the John Legend track. It just didn't work for me. It feels out of place on this album. If I had to skip one track on this album, that would be the one. If I had to skip multiples, there would be a few more.
I could put more on the
Yeah,
list.
I understand that.
1 through 6, fucking great.
Yeah.
And then Runaway and Hell of a Lie, also good. And I like the last track because it's fucking fun.
It's so good.
Rachel, what about you?
I said Devil in a New Dress. For someone that one didn't hit
Interesting.
for me.
So I have two,
Can't have two. You have to pick
and
one.
they are Devil in a New Dress and Blame Game.
Holy shit.
Twins.
Yeah.
Okay, you have two.
Twins.
Speaking to what Evil said, Devil in a New Dress is the first song on this album that I'm not like, holy fuck, this album is perfect.
Yeah, same.
Unfortunately, this style of beat, this kind of synthy West Coast style beat, has been completely mastered by Kendrick Lamar. And sorry, Kanye, it doesn't work. And then the Blame Game, it's boring. John Legend doesn't belong on this.
No.
Chris
Sure.
Rock somehow ruins it. Like, this is a bad song. It doesn't.
Chris Rock,
This album should not have a comedy skit on it. What the fuck are they?
you guys go get your lunch. I'm gonna sit here and record my part, and then he just hit record for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then added it, and nobody like edited it or reviewed it or listened to
No,
it.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
And I love Chris Rock,
Yes.
and I don't like that. Rachel, what are the 3 best songs on this album?
Okay.
On V.
In descending order. Number 3, Power.
Okay.
Number 2, All of the Lights.
Okay.
Number 1 is Monster.
I win. Take a drink, bro.
Did I win too? No.
Evil, what about you?
I'm inverting that.
Ooh. Are we reverse twins?
Yeah.
And
3's
twins.
Monster. 2, All of the Lights. And 1 is Power. All caps. But I'm not yelling it because there's no exclamation.
No one man should have it. What did you
Library.
pick for him, Rachel?
Fuck if I remember that far back.
All of the Lights, I think.
I think
Certainly didn't write it down. I think it was All of the
Yeah,
Lights.
I'm pretty sure.
so. My favorites. My number 1 would be All of the Lights
But
because it's so close to a perfect song. But then this
However.
fucking verse kicks in.
Uh-oh. Hot take.
How in the blue fuck did he listen to that Fergie verse and think like, yeah, this works, man?
Ooh.
It should be a number 1, but then you have Fergie come in and on your money 9, unemployment line. It's so bad. It's so, and Fergie is the worst.
Okay.
The worst.
She's the
I think
worst
she's
what?
very talented. Just kidding.
She's like Gwen Stefani times -10. It's the weird. It's
That's weird.
it's really gross. Anyway,
Gwen Stefani post No Doubt.
that's what I'm saying. Gwen Stefani did the same
Okay.
thing. She went solo,
By herself.
ruined a good band, and wrote some of the worst shit I've ever heard. I didn't mind the Black Eyed. Okay, the initial Black Eyed Peas stuff. I didn't mind. I thought it was cool.
So
What?
initial before Fergie.
I liked the first album that they did with Fergie.
Okay.
I have a question for both of you.
Go on.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Okay.
Which is worse? Lovely Lady Lumps or Bananas?
Lovely
This
Lady
is the hardest.
Lumps.
I knew the second song you were gonna say. I knew.
Oh, actually, I might take that back. It might be Bananas.
They're both so fucking equally the worst songs that were ever written. They really are.
They're you know how you like love your children the same? Like you love them in different ways, but it's equally. I think that we hate these songs,
like you want 'em-
but for different reasons, but
Yeah.
hate them equally.
Yeah, I'm going Fergie. I'm going My Humps.
I'm going to switch my answer to
Because
Bananas.
now I'm thinking of the words in my head. I am really heavy and nothing. It's so fucking bad. My top 3 songs on this album. Number 3, I think I fell in love with a porn star. Hell of a Life. I love the Iron Man thing. I love it. I think it's fucking awesome.
Okay.
My number 2 is Power, which Rachel guessed for me. It is one of the Kanye-est songs
Yeah.
that has ever Kanye'd. And my number 1 is Monster. It's kind of a perfect Kanye song. It's kind of a perfect. It's a perfect.
We all have very
everything
similar
song.
top threes,
Yes.
don't
You
we?
need to drink because I picked that for you.
Drink.
Got it.
I think that might be the first time I've picked a song for somebody.
Evil, you won.
Really?
Long distance high five. What a mess.
We're a wreck. We are
You're
bananas.
drunk.
I love it. Who won this album, Evil?
Blowjob jokes.
Want no drama? We don't want no drama. Blowjobs is a good answer.
Yeah.
He talks about the beaches a lot
lot.
on this album. Yeah,
The Sleepy
he
Hollow
won a swallow
one.
ship for this.
Swallow
Yeah.
Ship and Sleepy Hollow killed me.
Yeah. Let's talk more head right now.
Oh my God.
Rachel, stop averting attention.
I'm trying.
Who won this album?
Kanye. Kanye made this for Kanye, and Kanye did a great job. Kanye won multiple Grammys.
That's actually a good answer. That anytime we talk about anything Kanye wins it because Kanye.
'Cause he's Kanye.
Kanye and the.
Because
that's
Kanye.
Yeah.
I want that shirt on a shirt.
So as much as I want to say Rihanna, especially for the fact that you know who, I already love her, but you know who sings right after Fergie's piece of shit line is Rihanna. So it's like this, it's like taking the worst cough medicine you've ever taken, and then Rihanna is like the Sprite.
Hold up. I'm going to let you finish. But did you just say piece of shit line?
Did I? I
Did you-
might have.
Do you know who sang after Fergie's piece of shit line? Is what you said.
That's good. I'm keeping it.
I'm dead. That's the best. They're a piece of shit line. Oh.
You know who actually won? Second place for winning would be Nicki Minaj. Your favorite rapper, Nicki Minaj, because this
It
is
was
her
written
first
in the
exposure,
stars.
right? That we know of, right?
DL's
She's a
favorite,
motherfucking monster.
Nicki Minaj.
It's a good answer. My answer is, and it's not as the obscure vote, Vlado Meller, the audio mastering engineer.
Oh.
I am not kidding. This album is perfection as far as the levels of
Sure.
production. Every synth, every beat, every drum. The lyrics are never too loud, which is a big fucking thing nowadays. It's just perfect. It's so perfect. Evil, rate this album.
890,000 gold diggers out of 1 million gold
Take my
diggers.
money.
It falters in the second half. First 6 songs, 1 million out of 1 million gold diggers for me.
I love it.
Second half falters a bit. I was fully prepared to come in and say the second half completely sucked. And then I sat down and actually listened to it with lyrics open and a bit more of an open mind, and it grew on me.
Yeah, the problem
I
is
think
the
Hell of a
second.
Life
Yeah, the
and-
second half has Runaway and Hell of a Life, which is
And Runaway and Hell of a Life are fucking
Yeah.
great tracks. And I don't like the Bon Iver / Bon track, but I really like how it segues into the closing track.
It's real good.
Which is not a fucking Kanye track. He doesn't sing. He produced it.
It's such a good
That's why I
ending.
asked the question. It's a great ending, but do we judge him as a producer or as a performing artist? Those
I
are
mean,
two
on
different
that
things.
track, producer entirely.
100%.
I actually struggled with this because of how floored I was with the production. There was a point in time where I really, really contemplated giving this a 10 out of 10, but there are skippable songs and Fergie's on it. So I'm giving it 9 out of 10 Chris Rock's somehow ruining the album.
Yes.
And there are multiple songs on this that are like a verse too long.
Yeah.
But incredible album. I always loved it. I have a whole new respect for it now. Gorgeous. The song Gorgeous is a prime example. That was always a skip for me, and now I fucking love it.
That's great.
Rachel, rate it.
I give it a 9 out of 10. I agree that
Wow.
there's a
That's,
bit that could be.
one of the highest you've ever given.
It's pretty fucking good, David.
It's
That's
tied
heaven.
for the highest you've ever given.
That's
Yeah.
100,000 less gold diggers than I gave it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Evil likes this way more than you.
There's some skippable parts on this album, but the other stuff shines so brightly that I feel like it covers up for what would have been a lower score because the good stuff is so fucking good.
That's one of the reasons I struggled with the 10 out of 10 is because there's been one of my things for a 10 out of 10 is you can have like one skippable song if you have
Right.
like 4 or 5 unbelievably brilliant. And I do think that there are like 6 amazing songs on this.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are skippable. That's it. Beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. We liked it.
Yeah. Better than I expected.
That's what she said.
Better than evil expected.
Yeah.
Join us next week. Hey, next week is going to be fun. We've got a panel. We're going to talk about the state of vinyl. Mm-hmm. We got a couple of listeners coming in to talk.
Is that like near Connecticut?
Oh, the state.
Vinyl?
Jesus. Holy. That guy cracks himself up. Come next week. It's going to be fun. That's what she said. Verse, chorus, verse, at verse, chorus, verse, pod. Rachel with the Hennessy. You know, just because I want you to have fun for the rest of the day, I think we should.
One more.
I think
God damn it. I'm going to go buy Hennessy.
a thug like Rapak on our enemies. Ladies and gentlemen, that's.
It burns so bad.
She doesn't like it. That's our Kanye coverage for the year. I think we're done with Kanye unless he comes out with some sort of surprise album. Fingers crossed for Rachel. I had a shit ton of fun on this one. So, Evil, thank you for being in the... what do we call this version of Evil? We need a name for this version of Evil. Rachel, 2 days in a row, are you exhausted?
No.
You know,
Let's do another one. You gonna do something tomorrow?
You're done. You're done till like mid-July. You got a dude to marry.
I know.
Well, that's the wrong. That's the wrong.
I'm just done planning shit. That's all.
Evil loves you how much? How much do you love them, Evil?
You can't measure my love.
Perfect. Rachel, how much do you love them?
All of them. All of it.
Good night and good luck.
I wanna stay right by your side.